Yo guys, I'm Dom and Ultra and welcome back to another Dying Light Worth It video. For those of you new to this series, this is where I go over the Dying Light bundles and see if there's anything worth buying or using in these bundles. Now just a heads up, I am a little sick, I got a sore throat, but today we're going to be going over the Von Crane bundle. Now before I actually get into this video, I'd like to ask you guys to please drop me a quick like and to consider subscribing since I make a lot of useful Dying Light videos. And lastly, a special thank you to the members on my channel. But with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Now, like I said, we're going to be going over the Von Crane bundle. Now, this bundle is actually very useful and very cool. Let's start off with the first thing on the list. The first thing we have is the Von Crane outfit. This outfit looks insane. It's incredible. It looks so menacing, so cool, so detailed. I honestly love it. But the really cool thing about this outfit is that it has a special feature, like a special little stat. And that stat is the ability to call your weapons back when you throw them. In other words, when you throw your weapon, it'll come back to you so you don't have to go to it and collect it yourself. This is very useful since you can deal a lot of damage this way, but it's also very fun and a great way to play the game. So yeah, so far the outfit is really cool and very useful. But next we got the Heart Piercer Crossbow. This crossbow is amazing. You can craft it at the start of the game without needing a bow or anything like that. So you can pretty much craft this out of thin air. Now the things you need to craft it are a lot, but they're not too difficult to find, and you can pretty much find these and craft this bow at the start of the game. Now the crossbow doesn't deal as much damage as a Dragon Breath bow that's fully upgraded, but it is pretty close and still a pretty good crossbow to use. When this crossbow and the Dragon's Breath bow are used side by side, the speed is, sort of similar. So yeah, not that big of a difference. And also this thing glows in the dark, so it looks pretty cool at night. But on to the types of ammunition. There are 4 types of ammunition that you can craft with this bundle. We've got the regular bolts, which shoot regular crossbow bolts, which don't really, do anything special, so there's that. But we also got the impact bolts, the toxic bolt, and the stun bolt. Now, unfortunately, the damage on the other ones don't really, matter that much. You still have to hit your enemies dead on to actually kill them. They'll still deal damage, but just not a lot, or not enough to actually, kill them with consecutive shots. So yeah, personally, I would not recommend using any other types of crossbow bolts. Unless, of course, you're dealing with a horde, you can use the toxic one, since it also deals damage and, stuns them a little. But other than that, I would not recommend wasting resources on making these elemental bolts. But now next, we got the Sword of the Knight. The cool thing about this blueprint is that it'll increase the number of repairs for any weapon. So if your original weapon has 5, it'll be 6. And if it has 6, it'll be 7. But unfortunately, you cannot use this on very high damage gold weapons. Because if you do, the damage will be reduced. You can, however, use it on gold weapons that don't have a lot of damage and get some benefits from this blueprint. So yeah, for early players, this is a pretty useful blueprint to use. It is not the best. It doesn't do anything too crazy. But it's meant to look cool and, make the game feel a little different instead of bland. So yeah, it's nothing crazy, but it's not too bad. I would just not recommend, veteran players or, better players to use this. And also, a cool thing about this is that it also glows in the dark, just like the crossbow. And I do gotta say it does, look pretty cool. You can see some text on the sword itself. And also, I just like the animation. But on to something that makes this whole bundle really worth it, is this pistol, the Dawn Light pistol. This pistol is very cheap to make, but you do need a pistol to actually craft this. And if you've watched one of my older videos on where you can find a gun early on in Dying Light, you shouldn't struggle too much on, making this weapon. Now what's great about this weapon is that it deals an insane amount of damage. This thing can one-shot volatiles on Nightmare. And not just, volatiles, you can one-shot demolishers, goons, and even alpha volatiles. And also this weapon uses its own ammo, these silver bullets that comes with the bundle. The bullets are pretty cheap to make, and you do get 5 bullets every time you craft one of these silver bullets. Now on to the drawbacks of this weapon. The first one is that you only get 1 shot before you gotta reload. So if you miss, you're in a bit of a pickle. Another drawback is that you gotta be really close to the enemy. You cannot shoot them from a distance. So yeah, you gotta be really close to shoot them. Otherwise you won't deal any damage and you won't kill them. But yeah, other than that, this weapon is very useful for new players and could also be useful to, veteran players as well. And not only that, the weapon does look really cool. I love the look of this weapon. But anyways, that's it for the video. If you guys want another bundle that is worth it in Dying Light, check out this bundle right here. Or if you guys want to check out the entire playlist for this Worth It series, check out this playlist right here. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.